KF, man, that was Buck Cherry in honor of our karaoke king, Valdez, who was closing out the bar last night doing karaoke. We're like, well, you got to keep that party going, dude.
What song did you close on, by the way?
I tried new songs last night, and they did not work out.
Oh, yeah? They didn't work out?
I did...
Ariana Grande?
I did. No, I did Ramon Ayala by Giovanni and the Hired Guns.
Okay.
Dang.
Yeah.
And then me and the karaoke DJ did In the Shallow.
Oh, you did a duet with the karaoke DJ.
I was obviously Lady Gaga, so.
Okay, so it was two guys.
Obviously.
Yeah, they're very odd. And so, I mean, I'm surprised that you're even putting up a fight about doing this classic. So, we talked about how, we're doing a gathering tomorrow with our families and having turkey and feasting, and I hope you guys are doing that as well. In honor of that gathering, we were talking about ICP gathering and how we always wanted to go, and we always considered Valdez an honorary juggalo, whether he admits liking the band or not. So let's do a karaoke version of ICP's classic.
Certifiable classic.
Yes, Miracles. The song is honestly, it's one of those songs that, just once you hear it once, you've heard enough.
Once you hear it once, you wish you were deaf.
No, stop. So I want you to you're basically the violent J in this scenario, Valdez.
I don't know who is that. Is that the skinny one or the fat one?
Shut up. Don't. Okay. You don't get extra cool point credits for pretending like you don't know who the icons ICP are. Everyone knows.
Let me see your lower back. Do you have a Hatchet Man tattoo?
You absolutely do. It's a Hatchet Man tramp stamp. I've seen it when you bent over. Anyways, let's get into
what am I, a
Miracles.
30-year-old single mom? Come on.
All right. Save the jokes and save it for the karaoke, okay? I know that you're a karaoke king. I know that you could master this, and I want to hear it. Are you ready?
Oh, Christ.
You got this.
Yo, Mike, we got a theory about magic and miracles. Go, Valdez.
That's right. And magic always known. Then it's easy to miss what really goes on.
What?
But I've seen miracles in every way. And I see miracles every day. Ocean spanning beyond my sight. A million stars above at night.
They're at night.
We don't have to hide, look in the sky.
Nope.
And I know miracles open wide. Look at the mountains, trees, and seven seas. Everything chilling underwater, please.
Please.
Hot lava, snow, rain, and fog. Long neck giraffes, pet cats, and dogs. And I've seen 85,000 people.
Yep.
All in one room together as an equal. Pure magic is the birth of my kids. And I've seen that in eyelids. The sun, moon, and even Mars. Milky Way, effing stars. And your phone's a river flows. Plant, little seed, nature grows. Niagara Falls and the pyramids.
What?
Everything you believe in, kids.
That's right.
Effing rainbows after it rains. Even enough miracles to blow you out your brain. Like fish in the valley. I can't. This is
I tried to eat my cell phone. He ran away.
That's right.
And music is magic, pure and clean. You can feel it and hear it, but it can't be seen.
Nope.
Music is all magic.
That's right.
You can't even hold it.
You can't.
It's just there in the air. Pure mother effing magic.
Right?
It'll blow your mother effing mind.
I gotcha. Music's a lot like love, it's all a feeling. A fits a room from floor to ceiling. I see miracles all around me. Stop and look around, it's all astounding. Water, fire, and dirt. Magnets, how do they work? And I don't want to talk to a scientist.
Hell no.
You MFers lying. You ain't get me pissed. Solar eclipse and vicious weather. 15,000 juggalos together. Oh, I love my mom for giving me this. Time on the planet, nothing for granted. I see caterpillar turn to a butterfly. Miracles ain't nothing to lie. Shaggy's a little boy is just like Shaggy, and my little boy looks like Shaggy too. What the hell, Shaggy? Yeah, that's
too dope indeed.
all right. So that was okay. That was okay. Maybe
You gotta work on it. You gotta go to the gathering.
Yeah, maybe your version of I don't know, the Lady Gaga duet would have been better last night, or maybe you need to step up your karaoke game and add miracles to your playlist.
My favorite part about that was the butterfly that had a juggalo makeup on.
Yeah,
Like they went that far.
honestly,
I respect
It's like somebody took biology in night school. Like, I need to rap about all the things I learned.
yeah, exactly. Well, I don't think
Stupid scientists.
I don't think ICP went to a science class, and it's like I don't want to talk to scientists. I already know. I look into the sky.
Magnets, how do those work?
I already asked ChatGPT.
Okay, so how do magnets work?
It said in the ICP song Miracles, they ask how magnets work. Can you explain how magnets work? Blatantly, magnets work because of a phenomenon called magnetism, which arises from the motion of electric charges.
Oh.
Atomic structure and magnetic domains. They contain electrons that orbit the nucleus and also spin on their own axes. These moving electrons create tiny magnetic fields. In most materials, these tiny magnetic fields cancel each other out because the electron spins and they're randomly oriented. But in magnetic materials like iron, cobalt, and nickel, groups of atoms called magnetic domains align their fields in the same direction.
All right. In the words of Violent J,
scientists.
shut up, nerd.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, let's hit the reset. We got more Beef Vegan Presents on the way. Stick around. All right, we're back here
Magnets.
live, and Jeff saying Valdez is a juggalo, which we know. We've seen. We actually have the images to prove it, and we posted it on our stories on the Rock 102.1 Instagram page. I mean, it's undeniable proof how much of a juggalo Valdez is. So what's your favorite ICP song?
There it is.
See, he's
All of them, he's saying.
Look at it. He's pretending to be cool because he's
you know,
always
like Piggy Pie, Hocus Pocus,
Yeah,
Hands of Illusion, Chop Chop Slide.
yeah. Come on, dude.
Come on, dude.
Cha-cha slide?
No,
Chop
slide. It's the juggalo version. Look at you act like you get excited about the cha slide. Yeah, so I sent you an invite, Todd. I know that there's some positivity in you. I haven't seen it on the stream in a while, right?
It's like Darth Vader. We know
Yes.
what's in you.
And I do appreciate, constructive criticism and feedback because you are like, the my producer, like the honorary producer, right? And I respect your opinion, but I know there's some positive in there as well. So if there's any positive feedback, I would love to hear it before the holidays, of course. And happy holidays to you. Happy Thanksgiving. I'd love to know what you're going to eat. I mean, come on, buddy. Let's be friends. All right, let me answer this phone call real quick. Rock 102.1, who's this?
This is Ashley.
What's up, Ashley?
Hey, so I was thinking of you the past couple of days, and it's not for what you think.
I
but
wasn't
me and my
thinking that.
daughter- well, that and I was watching a show, and it reminded me of you. AP Bio.
Yes, AP Bio is on Netflix right now. It's an awesome show with Glenn Horton.
Yes. But, like your little catchphrases in the morning.
Yeah.
The ladies think he's handsome. Yeah. I was like, that's beef. That's beef. So my But my daughter she told me to quit jocking, and so I left it alone.
That's funny. How old's your daughter?
She's 12.
She's 12, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're just not cool when the kids get that age. They're the coolest kids on the planet, right? And so, yeah, she had to check you and make sure you weren't jocking. Did you think you were jocking at that time? Or did you, like, when she called you out and said quit jocking, you're like, oh, shit, was I jocking?
No, I knew I was.
That's
I knew
awesome.
I was, so I just bit my tongue and shut up. It's like the only time I'll let her talk to me that way.
Right. When she calls you out, when she's right, you're like, ah, damn it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that show, too. It's a fantastic show. So it's finally getting, the attention it deserves because it's on Netflix. That's how sad, like, Peacock is. Like, nobody knew this show existed until it landed on Netflix.
I know. And I have Peacock, too, but I never found it.
Right. Yeah, I know. Well, Peacock sucks,
Get
man.
it together, Peacock.
Yeah. Well, I love the story, Ashley. Thanks for that. And tell your daughter, mind her business. Let you jock if you need to jock.
Yeah.
I know. I told her about the vegan market, and she was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah, no, it's gonna be
She's like,
fantastic.
"You want to eat vegan, all right?" I was like, "Would you stop?" I was like, trying to be healthy.
That's too funny. We're on the air. Rock 2.1 KFMA. Speaking of, we have Ashley on the phone real quick. So let's talk about this vegan market real quick because that's coming up, I think, on December 7th, the vegan night market. And Ashley messages, she's like, should I check this out? I'm like, absolutely should check that out because it's not even just that everything's vegan. It's like whatever. The art of this vegan culinary explosion that's been happening in town is that a lot of this stuff you can't believe it's vegan, right? It's like I can't believe it's not butter type stuff. You're like, damn, this is so good. I feel like animals had to die for this, but no animals died for it. So the vegan night market, it's a party at the Rico Raceway Park right there.
And Ashley, you need to check it out. Plus, you need to drag your 12-year-old daughter to check it out as well.
Yeah. Well, I would be weary of that, actually, because then if your daughter actually becomes vegan, speaking from personal experience, what a pain in the ass. I mean, honestly.
This bacon is not made of hummus, Mom.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go out to dinner and spend, 35% more, then, convert your kid to be a vegan. Trust me. That's the process. Yeah. But,
Karma tax.
Yeah. I appreciate the call, Ashley. And I look forward to seeing you out at the vegan night market. It's going to be a good time.
All right, see you there.
All right, cool. We are keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We got new music to play from Bad Flower. This song's called Detroit. Herb Stratford's going to be in studio right after this. Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan, and keep it right here on Rock 102.1. Yeah, throw out a nice little plug for the vegan night market. It's always a fun time because,
It's going to be a theme park soon.
It is. I mean, it's getting so big.
Every time they do it, they're like, wait, we didn't expect 80,000.
Right, and we'll get Hannah in here soon, and probably Shane as well. Because just to promote that. But there's a lot of stuff I want to do. We had Wesley from the Tucson Tasty Show in. He's doing his food truck thing, but nobody thinks original, right? And so when I mentioned to Wesley about having these food trucks be sample size. But I'm like, I shouldn't even give him this idea. I threw it out there. It's fine. But I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to put together either a pizza fest or a pizza fest would be ideal, to be honest with you.
Phoenix has one, don't they?
Yeah, but see,
we need one here.
Here's the thing. They're doing it wrong, right?
Uh-huh.
Because, it's like, yeah, you got a pizza fest and you go and you can buy slices. And then, how many slices can you eat? Now, of course, we're big boys. We could probably put down half a pie easy. If we're walking around and drinking, maybe 3/4 of a pie. Yeah. But who wants to fucking eat 3/4 of a pie, dude? And especially if you're at a pizza festival.
You got to be choosy. You're going to tap out.
Yeah. So, one of the people that kind of does it right is Fresco when they have their little pizza fest. It's a smaller one. I've gone to a couple of them, and they're fun. But see, the people are serving full-size slices. And again, the only problem with this pizza fest is you walk out of there crawling, you're just about to explode.
In a wheelbarrow. It'll wheel you out.
So if they did slivers, then that would be more manageable.
Yes, dude. I want the Costco Sunday experience when it comes to a food fest. So I want to put together, a food truck fest where it could be a competition where it's just basically sample fest, right? Yeah. So you go in and you get basically a card that has 5 drinks and then 5 samples on it, and you could buy extra sample cards, and then you just go up, give them a tab, and they give you an awesome serving size, a regular serving size, sample size.
That would make too much sense, Beef.
And then you have the buffet experience. Look, buffets made a comeback after COVID, even after we found out that buffets are disgusting and that everything about them is abysmal when it comes to kind of health and.
Fatty loves a good buffet.
Yeah, America loves a good buffet, Valdez. So you represent America not just by your physical stature.
Just imagining going to a third world country and explaining the concept of buffets has got to be the most gross American thing you can feel like.
That's true. That's very
it's hey, you just walk in there, you pay $20. It's literally anything, everything, as much as you can handle.
You can eat until you get sick.
Right.
I think that is also funny that Ashley's daughter keeps calling her out, you're thirsting. My daughter would do the same thing. She's been an excellent C blocker from a very early age. She doesn't understand that, but I'm like, no, you don't. Before you could speak full sentences, you were C blocking me. There was one time, I had my friend Tony over, and she had her daughter same age. Right. And Tony was, hey, maybe we should do this. Right. So she was giving me the vibe, and we're watching a movie together, all family style, and felt good. And my daughter's all pinching her daughter and trying to fuck her up. Just get away from my dad. Rock 102.1 KFMA. And that just ruined that scenario. And I ended up, the long story short, fast forward, I ended up DJing Tony's wedding. So yeah, stayed in the friend zone forever. Got paid for the wedding though, so shout out Tony. We're here live on the air. We're going into the holidays, as you know, but this has nothing to do with that. A lot of people out there are looking for new jobs constantly, right, and up their career. But the problem is now when you do interviews, you don't do it in person. Right? You're doing Zoom style interviews. People are lazy when it comes, especially to the corporate world, right? So what are some tips on how to excel and stand apart in a Zoom style interview? I got that for you. Let me share with you a little bit of wisdom. First and foremost, tips for your virtual job interview: stay away from scripts. Some people get nervous and like to write things down, notes and whatnot. What was the last job interview you had, Valdez?
I think it was Superior Court.
Okay. Yeah. Did you go in with notes, getting ready to kind of regurgitate things that you prepped?
I just tapped in my inner actor and I was like, give them what they want to hear.
Did you get the job?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. They say dress from the waist up. So this is I think, most important. You don't have to wear pants in virtual interviews. And I think, much like Sean Connery, he was ahead of his time in this situation. Legendarily, he would not wear pants when shooting scenes in cars or anything that involved waist up. He did this for the level of comfort, and of course, maybe he was a little sexually aggressive
It's
to his
called
co-stars.
freeballing.
Yes. So every time you look at an old Sean Connery movie, and if you see him in a car or if you see him just from the waist up, know that he is freeballing and not wearing any pants below. And he swore by it. It was an acting method and technique that he incorporated in much of his career, and it just made him a more comfortable actor.
Less chafing.
Yeah, which is the reason why I do the show with no pants. I Sean Connery it all the time. Valdez complains sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't. So it really depends on his mood.
You use deodorant very well.
Yeah. All right. No cars. All right. So it's not like the interview is a surprise, so make it a priority. So don't do it in your car. Just like remember the viral video of the guy who was showing up to virtual court and he was in his car driving and he was in court for driving on a suspended license. So
That was unreal.
Yeah. He outed himself. Super stupid. And he's in jail right now because of it. And then finally, no eating. Valdez. No eating. Looking at you.
Who eats during an interview? Come on.
Someone who eats all the time. I mean, hell, Rico sometimes eats when the microphones turn on.
That's not an interview.
No, it's the 5 minutes of his job he has to do, and he's just like, it's a good time for a snack. No.
It happens once, and Dad keeps bringing it up.
Oh, you know what?
Anyway.
It was enough to traumatize me.
Yeah.
So grab a meal or snack beforehand, and then get a look in the mirror to make sure you don't have any stains on your faces and clothes. So there's some virtual job interview tips, because, again, I want to help out some of you to step up your financial game, because according to certain age demos, you have to make a lot of money to be considered successful. In fact, actually, like the older you are, the less money you feel like you need to make to be successful. And so it's all kind of like backwards.
Weird.
Yeah. Gen Z thinks you need to make the most amount of money just to even be considered successful. And I'm talking about $500,000 a year.
Well, yeah,
holy
because
hell.
I think they see the writing on the wall. They're like, oh, we have a long way to go. And by the time inflation and house costs are like, it's going to be, we're going to need that money.
That's what it comes down to, right? The
Yeah.
inflation. Like $500,000 a year is literally going to be enough just to scrape by.
Be like $5,000
Yeah.
by the time they get to 60.
This survey surveyed over 2,000 Americans, and for boomers, financially successful meant having an annual salary just under $100,000. For Generation X, they figured that was more than double. All right, and Gen Z, again, they took the prize for being financially successful, requiring the most amount of money, $587,000 a year.
Jeez.
And it's like, good luck with that, Gen Z. The way things are going, I mean,
It's a lot of feet picks.
yeah, it's a
Get to
lot
it.
of feet pics. Yeah, start getting those pedicures now. Let's hit the reset. We got Herb Stratford in studio, looking like a creeper in the background. We're going to get him on the microphone and make fun of him for the next 45 minutes. It's going to be amazing. So join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. What'd you,
He looks like a consummate professional in the corner.
oh, you're going to switch
Consummate.
microphones? Okay. And then you take off your mic condom?
Consummate creeper.
What's up, boys?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Long time no see.
Man, I've seen you forever.
Forever. I know, beef kept us separated. It was like court ordered.
You gotta keep me separated.
You
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
You know, they're going to make a Offspring documentary. Did you see anything about that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
To see what Dexter's up to.
Yeah, Dexter and who's the other one?
Who else is offspring? We're like,
the
just
only one I
Dexter.
heard.
It's only two guys. It's only
Is it
two
really?
guys. Well, yeah, technically, it's Dexter and his what's his name?
His
you
sister,
guys know on
Dee
the
Dee.
stream. No, you guys know on the stream, right? It's Dexter, and he's got the weird hair. Always has the weird hair. All right.
So Dexter's Laboratory, so it's Dee Dee, right? Sister. Yeah, okay.
You guys know? If you know, put it in the comments. Noodles. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, jump in here.
Gabagool.
Spears. Yeah. Valdez, you don't have to disappear. Just put the microphone in front of Justin's face. What's going on? I see you peeking through the curtain. What are you eating?
I like he comes in here like we owe him money.
Yeah.
No, you guys are doing great things.
Thank you.
How are we doing? Great things. What happened?
No, I'm just looking at you guys. You guys have Herb in here, and I'm like, dude, you guys have a freaking legend in the building.
It's Herb.
It's the
It's
room,
Herb.
man.
You
No,
called
it's
him
Herb.
You called him
Herb.
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 What are you eating?
I'm eating
Is there some kind of Thanksgiving spread I don't know about?
No, there's like Christmas crack in there.
Oh, in,
You know what Christmas
in the
crack is?
kitchen?
It's like brittle, some
Oh, God. Holiday brittle?
Bark or something.
yeah, Christmas bark.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we call it
good.
Christmas crack.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's good. You see the clip that we made of your theory of four?
I love that. That was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
And true, huh? For 70 years now?
Over 100.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Arizona has won in every territorial cup matchup in years that end in 4.
That's funny.
Really?
What
Yeah.
a
Going all the
funny
way back to
stat.
1914.
That's weird.
Yeah, with the
That
exception of a
is
couple
some-
world wars kind of
That
been
is
around.
some weird stuff, though. You know what I mean? Like when you see something like that, you're like, okay, I don't know.
And even like in moments where ASU was in its heyday, when they beat Arizona like 8 consecutive times on a year that ends at 4, the Wildcats always got them.
Yeah,
So
that's a big
it's
deal.
that deal with Satan. You know, that's what it is.
You would think the Sun
Right?
Devils would have that.
You think U of A sold their soul to the devil?
I don't know.
Is that whole bear down prophecy because of a?
I don't know. I'm just saying. So
I
there's.
feel like you might know something we don't in this scenario. Like you've been invited to some
I've
secret
made-
society type
I've
parties.
made some deals with Satan myself. It's possible.
I do have a movie question though.
Okay.
Wicked.
Uh-huh.
This is like the craziest.
if I watch it?
The craziest media tour ever, and I'm like, what is the hype behind this movie? You tell me.
No, I
Musicals.
wish. Well, it's not for me. That's the thing. It's like for little girls. You know, I mean, it's a Wizard of Oz prequel about the Wicked Witch, and Glinda the Good Witch. I mean, it's like it's just manufactured to appeal to a certain audience, and they've had a 20-year Broadway run to prime an audience for this thing. No wonder it's like. But also, honestly, the marketing budget I think is more than the production budget.
Really?
Yeah.
So they spent a lot of money just pushing this out.
Which is funny because did they need to?
Right.
I don't know. Like if this is one film that never even needed it, but
I don't know because I know about Wicked now. I never heard about Wicked beforehand.
So when it was
right?
a play, you never heard about it?
No, and again, it's a play that necessarily aimed towards my demo.
Yeah. No, but your daughter would have been interested.
Exactly, and that's the point, right? So that's why the marketing is good to kind of like cover that blanket because I feel like yes, plays are an art form that may gain some popularity, but it's not mainstream popularity, right? So it's really a big push to kind of
Well,
let
and these
people know this
musicals, I
world
mean, of course,
exists.
it's like the biggest musical ever, and it's like, well, yeah, but what else did we have to compare it to? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we had Moulin
Les
Rouge, which was
Miserables, yeah,
not
yeah.
great. So it's like, I mean, obviously, but I honestly feel like a big part of this is it's the casting, right? And it's the fact that it's had such a long Broadway run. You just created generations of attendees who are just like, yeah, I want to see the movie version. I also think it's a little BS though to cut it in 2.
Yes.
That's just and
What do you mean cut it into?
it's 2 parts.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I
and the
didn't know
first
that.
part is 3 hours.
Yeah.
So you're basically looking at
Yeah.
Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings
Yeah.
style Peter
Yeah.
Jackson director cut.
No
yeah.
way.
Yeah, so I
version
mean,
of
if you
Wicked,
waste
yeah.
that, not waste. If you spend that much time in a theater, you sort of expect the payoff, right? And
Yeah.
you're not getting it. And I mean, I don't even know that. I don't even think they've announced the date for part 2, but it just seems like a cash grab.
Did they shoot it consecutively? So it's already shot?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's all shot. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Then it's probably going to be next year, right?
It will be. It will
Yeah.
be next year. I'm waiting to see where they're going to drop it. You know what I mean? Like, and people are like, oh, maybe it's going to win Academy Awards. It's like, I don't know about that.
Well, best musical performance, blah 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 blah. Right? You know those.
Yeah, it'll
Academy
win
Awards.
a song or a soundtrack. Yeah.
I'll go see it if they have Chris Isaac Wicked Games playing in the beginning.
They don't. Spoiler alert, they don't.
But I got a jet. I just want to come in here, wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving. Herb, good seeing you.
Yes, yes.
Happy
always.
Thanksgiving, buddy.
Yes, always a good time with you, Justin.
Love you guys.
I had, well, real quick, as you're jetting and stuff, I had Valdez and Mari concerned that I was busting your balls a little too much yesterday and like upsetting you. Was I upsetting
No,
you
I
yesterday?
was just cranky as hell.
You were just
I
cranky.
was just tired as hell. I had to get the wheels turning a little bit, and then once we had to start to talk about Territorial Cup and other things, it was a good conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I was ranting about Snoop Dogg for just content and comedy purposes, and to subconsciously, advertise and promote the Arizona Bowl. The whole thing was basically just a clever
That's the Snoop
scheme.
Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice.
Yes, on December 28th. Thank you, Herb.
I'll make sure you get it right.
You got it
Sponsored by
right.
the Arizona Film Festival.
Yes, absolutely. Are you hoping to get free tickets as well?
No.
Or can we get free tickets, Justin? Do you know? I mean, you know the owner of Arizona Bowl. You
I think we should get free tickets here.
Yeah, I think at the very least.
So I'll be there no matter what. but-
I promoted it, and with Rico and stuff since
We made the T-shirt.
We showed the graphics. Yeah, we did that. We've been promoting it from day one. I think consideration for some kind of VIP suite. Maybe not the VIP suite because I'll run into people I might not want to see, but like at least decent enough seats to
Right
make
next
me
to
feel.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, next to Snoop Dogg. Can we make that happen?
Can you make that happen? Pull
Come
some
on,
strings.
You know people, Justin. You
yeah, I
can do
know
it.
people. I'm a mover and shaker.
Yeah. It's a big deal, Justin Spears.
But anyways, guys, I gotta go.
Okay, go.
Happy
Seriously,
Thanksgiving.
You guys,
Good to see you,
have a
man.
good Thanksgiving.
All right, yes, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you on Monday. All right, so yeah, I mean it's still something to consider.
You were
know?
being mean to the boy?
What do you think, Valdez? You and Mari were saying something of the sorts.
Yeah, you can you're getting a little heavy with him.
I think you're being a little too sensitive too, but you got to understand
I
what.
like the way you ask me and then you just crap all over
Yeah,
that.
you're wrong. You're wrong. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes you can be.
You got a small brain, Valdez. You're just wrong.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can be a little sensitive and misunderstand what the purpose of this show is, right? When you're doing, sometimes I go on these little like tangents and rants to creatively just go
Wait a
say
minute. Sometimes
absurd
you might
things.
be mean to people. I've never
For the
been
sake
on
of
the other
comedy.
side of that.
No.
For
And
the
see,
art.
I don't treat Justice Spears like I treat you, Herb, and I've scaled it back because the joke's been done. But I did the joke for 5 years. I mean,
That's
it was
true.
a good run. It was a good run.
It's true.
Yeah, and then every now and then there's a little quip going on, but it's part of branding too. And then Herb is actually like one of the favorite part of the show for listeners because of that scheme. And then I'm not expecting you to understand everything that I read or do and put forward into this show to connect with the audience. I want you to learn it. I definitely want you to understand the concept of why I would go off in these like little tangents for the sake of trying to create something out of nothing.
We call it the weave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good at weaving.
Notice how
Great at
Justin
weaving.
said I was just cranky until we started talking about ASU U of A, and I was like, I'm the one who brought that up because I was like, the sports guy's here, and let me ask a sports question.
Yeah, exactly. But you're kind of boring the audience, and if you don't believe me, I did put together a clip of Mari while we were talking sports stuff.
Uh-oh.
And yes, and
She doesn't count. She's not the audience.
She is part of the
Is
audience.
it like the streamers when we talk about the challenge?
Yes, exactly. I know.
See?
And honestly, we would like with Herb coming in, I would gladly talk an hour of challenge with him on this podcast, but I realize that is not what this podcast is for.
I still don't understand why you both don't get together like an hour a day and just have a quick Zoom call podcast.
I mean, we
talking
should,
about it.
huh?
Honestly, I've been
should.
saying that for a year now.
Yeah, no,
Like, you guys would probably do so much. You're like, yeah, we're not doing the radio show anymore. We're just challenge professionals now. We're commentators.
You know,
We got money coming in.
if there's money there, I'm down.
there's a market
You're going
for
to have
it.
Johnny Bananas calling in.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would love that.
That is the goal, actually.
Yeah.
That definitely is the goal. I follow him. Rock 102.1 on KFMA. Welcome back, Beefing and Presents. Yeah, I follow Bananas and even submitted a question for his podcast, which he did not address in his podcast, so I'm a little upset. You're hurt. All right, real quick, I want to show you. We got Herb Stratford in studio. Welcome, Herb.
Hey.
All right. Before we get into our movie releases and whatnot, Valdez is patting himself on the back for asking our sports guy a sports question, which was good, and it was a good addition to the conversation. And I got a clip from it too. So before you get all like teary-eyed and sensitive, because I know you're a big teddy bear, that was good. But at the same time, sometimes it could go on and be a little adult to some of the audience. Not everyone's into the sports talk. Mari definitely is not. Every time we talk sports, she has a look on her face, and I captured it on film, and I actually shared it on our Instagram page. And if you don't believe me, this is what. Wait. That's ICP. Yes. All right, I got to go to the Rock 1 2.1 page here real quick. 2 seconds. So I'll show you. I posted this on our stories yesterday. This is what Mari looks like when we talk sports. Ready? Let's see.
Or even sometimes Oregon State, like Kansas State, they sell out.
Right.
TCU, even though they had a bunch of students gone for Thanksgiving, like they still have a lot of people there. So it's a totally different vibe. And you know what? Basketball is going to experience that too when they go on the road and play against Kansas and all those other schools. So I think Arizona fans, now that the Wildcats are in the Big 12, they're going to have to do kind of like a recalibration of their expectations for Arizona.
Yeah. Well, it's good.
If you don't already love Mari, you just love her more.
Can you send me that clip? I want to make like meme videos out of that.
Oh yes, I was thinking meme video when I put it together because
Like
I'm
whenever this happens.
this is perfect, and I put that Drunk and Confused song in the background.
Oh, God.
And
It reminds me of that like Ben Affleck looking sad during an interview video.
Yes.
He just
Yes.
looks down like.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can see the wheels turning in Mari's
Yeah.
head, but not thinking about anything that we were talking about. It was. I was just like,
What are
it's
clouds made of?
So great. So yeah.
Magnets work.
So yeah, well done, Walter Cronkite, on your award-winning journalism questions there. Zoned Mari out there. All right, let's talk about new releases here. The first film that we're going to feature is the sequel Moana 2. Of course, this is the big release because Disney's behind it. It's The Rock's bread and butter at this point.
Yeah, well, and
Right?
honestly, we had Red 1, 2 weeks ago? Now we got this. It's like we're going to, Uncle, right?
Yeah, too much
You know?
rock, right? Is it too much rock?
Well, it's always too much rock. I mean,
Yeah.
I just cannot wait for the second season of Peacemaker because I need my non-rock wrestling in my entertainment. So, so what's interesting about this, I mean, yes, to your point, this is sort of the big release. We got everything out of the way last week with Gladiator 2 and Wicked, which is still going to win the box office. And I was right, by the way, above 100 million domestic. US.
Okay, yeah, that's really not too much going on here.
No, and so, but what's interesting about Moana 2 is now Moana is basically, Disney's Hawaiian princess movie, right?
Yeah.
But Moana 2 was originally envisioned as a limited series on Disney Plus. But when they got the scripts and they started looking at everything, they're like, oh, well, let's just make a movie out of it, which is interesting because Disney is so sort of now doing all they do is just retreads, right? They make whatever. I don't know if you saw this trailer for Lilo and Stitch, the live action Lilo and Stitch. Looks great, but I mean, are we going to live action every animated movie?
Well, they're currently shooting a live action Moana. Yeah, so the answer to that is yes. If there's a way to double dip into that profit pool, then Disney's going to do it. And honestly, Moana's the only live-action film where I'm like, yeah, okay, you can do it because The Rock can kind of pull off the character, Maui.
He can.
Because it's him, kind of. And they made a fatter version in the cartoon, but, it will be more...
You know what? And just give him a couple months. He can bulk up for that.
Oh, yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
So,
which kind of juice would you recommend for him to bulk up on?
He's juicing everything, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is, obviously this is not aimed at, 50-something white males, but this is definitely something for the family. And, let's remember, this weekend traditionally is, I'm sick of my family, let's go to a movie. So, this is aimed for families, and, you probably already taken your kid to see Wicked. If you haven't, then you'll do that. But, this is sort of the sole release in theaters this weekend, and I think it'll do fine, but Wicked's still going to be the big winner.
Until the kids start asking their parents, why don't we have beachfront property?
That's true.
I want to be on a beach.
Just wait.
Like, damn it.
I'd be like,
coming.
you don't want to go to Maui right now. We just last weekend, we had what they call the Glicked weekend. It was Gladiator 2 and Wicked, and people were double heading. Why aren't they making a cool little name for this and just combining Wicked with Moana and call it Mo-Wicked? The Mo-Wicked weekend, and that way you got double features.
Presented by Gin Juice. That sounds like a Snapchat or a GPT, whatever, right? That sounds like a song you guys got to do.
Yeah.
More wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already had a perverted Willy Wonka song we were going to do, but couldn't find the right beat. But okay, so Moana 2, obviously if you're into Disney Pixar films and the sequel to this, seems like it might be pretty good. I think the good takeaway from this is that it was going to be the series, and then if they condensed it into a movie, then they cut out all the filler, and it's good to go, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's 69% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Whoa, I thought this was a kid's movie, dude. Slow it down.
Sorry, man. Sorry. Yeah.
Made $420,000 at the box office.
Yes. All right, so that's for the kids. What about something for the adults? But nothing else is coming to the theaters this weekend that was worth mentioning, huh?
No, it's again, I think this is one of those weekends where, you've seen this before, where everybody takes a look at what's coming out and they go, oh, okay, well, Wicked and Gladiator 2 have legs, so we don't want to go up against them, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to give them a little bit of leeway. But I will say next week there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot, like there's just like half of the stuff that should be coming out this week is coming out next week.
Really? Okay, so they just got out of the way. Gladiator 2, how did it perform at the box office? And you said it has legs, so are the theaters still going to be kind of full for this Denzel Washington pick?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, certainly, there was a big push to go, but I mean, like, I haven't gone. I'm going to go Saturday. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that have not seen it yet. So,
Rico, how many times have you seen it?
I haven't seen it at all yet.
What? Come
No,
on,
'cause
dude.
I'm a loyalist to the first one. You can't beat that.
Oh, that's right. We've had this
We've had the
conversation.
and they put
He's-
rap in the trailer, and I was like,
Yeah,
mad.
that you lost him at
I
the
did.
trailer. Yeah,
You did.
I remember we watched the trailer together, and he was just like, "I'm out."
I'll see it when it comes to Max.
Yeah, we'll come to Max.
Yeah, but like this is one of those movies you got to see on the big screen. You got to see the spectacle. I don't care
That's
how
what
big
they
your
always
TV
say,
is.
That's
though.
what they said about Dune, and I was actually happy about this. This seems different.
That's what The Rock said about Red 1.
Trust me, go to the theater. It's great.
Yeah, all right, well, keeping the conversation moving on a podcast broadcast. So when we return, there are some notable releases that come into your streaming services. We'll talk about which ones we're excited about with Herb Stratford right after music from Foo Fighters on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear.
Mm-hmm.
Denzel's definitely got the big pull on that movie, though, for sure. People want to go see that because of Denzel.
That's all they're saying.
Yeah, and he's getting everybody's saying like whenever he's on screen, it's his scene. You know, it's just like and I mean the guy. Did you guys see the Josh Brolin quote this week?
No.
About how they were filming American Gangster, and like at one point Denzel was just like, "Don't you put your effing hand on me," and like they almost came to blows.
Whoa.
And it's like, because apparently in hindsight they're like, "Oh well, Denzel was just in character," and it's just like, yeah, but was he? Was he really though, or did he just not want to eat Josh Brolin's crap? I don't know.
Right. Was he not going to put up with any nepotism bullshit?
Yeah, you're right.
That's the thing. It's like probably doesn't respect Brolin.
Yeah.
Because of his Goonies past. And,
He hates the Goonies. Denzel has it out. He's like, hate that movie.
Yeah.
Stupid movie.
You were a jerk to that girl. You didn't deserve her at the end.
Fratellis were misunderstood.
Wouldn't that be great if Denzel just like would basically watch any movie and just believe that everything was factual? That was you. That was your call.
Hey, Star Wars, we don't have lightsabers somewhere.
That actually sounds like a pretty good series, right? You know, like you actually do
Denzel
that.
believes movies.
Yeah. Denzel hates you.
All right, so in the spirit of talking up Denzel, one at a time, but what is your favorite Denzel Washington movie of all time? I'll start off with you, Rico.
Maybe The Hurricane.
Really, The Hurricane?
Yeah.
What did you like about The
It was
Hurricane?
a biopic, very underrated, very good performance in that. He was very good as that boxer.
All right.
That and Training Day, obviously.
All right. What do you say, Valdez?
I want to go with Carbon Copy, his first movie.
His very first movie ever? You went for straight hipster cred. I don't even know about this Carbon Copy movie.
Ooh, Christy got it.
Oh, was it?
Man on Fire. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, Man,
Man on Fire
Love
is
that
good.
movie.
Man on Fire is good. Yeah, I mean, I'm
And Todd.
I'm sort of leaning with Rico though a little bit on this. I mean, I don't. Although I will say, just American Gangster, that whole story to me and that cast was just like with Russell Crowe. And I mean, everybody in that movie was just, and it's such a fascinating story about this, sort of the gangster mentality and then how the drugs were coming in the country through Vietnam. And I mean, it's just a fascinating story. And he was such a powerful character that you really knew nothing about. I mean, he was the godfather of Harlem. And, as a white guy, I didn't know any of this stuff. And
What are you going to do, shoot me?
Yeah. You would avoid Harlem at all costs.
Yeah.
I changed my answer, actually.
Oh, to that now?
No. To Crimson Tide.
Oh.
That's one of my top 10s of all time. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then you forgot about that
I
for a
forgot
second?
about it because I was in Denzel mode. My
Okay.
brain was just.
All right, so then I have to say final answer. Is that
Okay.
going to be your
That's
final
mine.
answer?
That's my
'Cause
personal
You cannot
favorite.
walk it
I
back.
won't.
No
I
more
won't.
walking
All
back.
right, sorry.
Jeez, it's exhausted trying to follow it.
What about you, Beef?
Well, I mean, mine is like a basic answer. It is Training Day, and Training Day for many reasons, you know. But I thought just the emotional ride that story took you on, and his ability to be so menacing and believing in a way, you just like, this guy's a gangster.
You hate him.
Yeah. Carbon Copy. I'm looking at the trailer right now. I'm just like, God damn, Valdez, that is such a deep cut.
Hipster.
And it teaches a lesson. Like, it's a deep lesson.
Yeah,
for
it looks
that
like a made-for-TV
age.
movie. Do you remember
Probably
Carbon
great.
Copy, Herb?
I do not.
Yeah, so this is the original trailer. It came out in 1981, right? So still
George
smoking
Segal.
in her car.
All right.
Yep. Yeah. So
What's the plot?
So Denzel's his son, and he remembers that back in the day he had an affair with a lady, which was Denzel's mom, but he gets disowned. So he's like super rich, and then his family's like, "Oh, you have a black son? F you." So he has to learn what it's like to be a minority. They like live poor together and all of this, and then he makes assumptions about Denzel. It's a great movie. Like,
Oh.
it teaches you a lesson, especially for 81.
There he is.
I mean, he still looks the same now. I mean,
No.
honestly, yeah, like in 1981, dude. Like that's young Denzel.
Look
You
at
see him as a
fashion.
kid. How do I walk like a peckerwood?
Amazing.
This that's out of all the Denzel movies, you're gonna say this one's your favorite over
Probably that
everything?
good. I want to see it now.
It's a great lesson. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, just for the lesson. What about the acting?
Change?
He adopts.
What am I worth?
He adopts black
How much
kids.
have you got in your wallet? $68. You mean that's it?
Carbon Copy, a riches to rag story
Needs a tune-up.
that proves
I'm not sharing a communal bathroom. It's unhygienic.
when you're going down a toilet, getting there is all the fun.
Out of the way! We got so great!
You want to play a game, you and your son against me and my son? 3 baskets win, we'll play for $5.
Racist. That's racist.
I have to be the father of the only black kid who can't play basketball.
I'm Jewish, my son is black, and my lawyer smokes pot. Don't tell me I'm not in trouble.
You can teach me how to build a model airplane. I'll show you how to pick a lock.
Synth music.
Oh my God.
You take me to a Chamber of Commerce meeting, I take you to a Third World Liberation meeting.
Why are you doing this to me, God?
Carbon Copy, starring George Segal, Susan St. James, Jack Warden, and introducing Denzel Washington. Carbon Copy. Any resemblance between father and son is
Oh my
purely
God,
hysterical.
Can we find this on Prime? Like, where? Let's figure out where this
Seriously.
is.
Good call.
I really,
Introduce-
really hope that I wish that Denzel's character was the same in this movie as the same character as Alonzo in Training Day, like taking his dad around the block. I
Kinda
didn't know you like to
is.
get wet.
I have that movie on VHS.
Yeah, you teach me how to invest in
Nice.
stocks.
Watch it
I'll
on
teach you how to
VHS.
get wet.
Right?
Yeah, and Denzel's talking the same way that he always talks. His famous
Yeah, yeah.
cadence.
From the
That's-
get-go.
Yeah,
I love
interesting.
it. Valdez, thank you. You
Yeah.
turned me on to
Enjoy.
something,
That's a
man.
gold
I
nugget.
am,
It's a great
yeah.
movie. He does a good
Valdez
job.
picks.
Yeah,
Yes.
that movie is literally as old as Valdez and I. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, it's a trip, and half the age of Herb.
That movie's as good as Eastwood's first director, where he did play Misty for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That,
That's a
that
good one,
lady
too.
was psycho.
Yeah.
What movie is that?
So, have you watched any
Play
movies in the
Missy
last
for
10
me.
years? You've been a classic cinephile this whole time?
You're a radio DJ. Like, play Misty for me is like right up our alley.
Why?
Because Eastwood plays a radio DJ who one of the listeners gets like super psychotic obsessed with him
Oh,
and makes his life a living hell.
I
I'm
know
gonna
how
see
that is.
this.
I'm looking at you, Bella. No. Just kidding.
But it was his first movie he ever directed,
Yeah.
and it is amazing.
No
It
kidding.
scared the crap out of me as a
I'm
kid.
gonna write that down.
Oh, look at well then every week we'll
And
debut
he
a new
wrote-
segment.
And he wrote the music for it too, I think.
That's right. He
Yeah.
did.
So I mean, it's a big deal. Yeah.
He did
Eastwood
like a
did?
lot. Yeah.
Yep.
Was Eastwood ever in a band? Did he ever do any kind of solo
I don't think
projects?
so. He was just a played piano and just a musician. But no, I don't think he ever had that. And I mean, the guy's, what is he, 93?
Yeah,
he just directed Juror Number 2, which actually is very, very good. It got dumped. They only released it in a couple of theaters, and then it's going to be, I think, on Max or something.
Was that a true story one?
I don't know if it's a true story, but the premise is that this guy ends up on a jury and a murder trial, and he actually has something to do with a crime. And so you're like, okay, what is he going to do? Right. And it's a very interesting premise. So, yeah, Juror Number 2. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that came out earlier this year.
It did, but very briefly. And I think they're positioning it to see if they can get Nick Holt is the guy. There's a good cast. So yeah, what's his name? J.K. Simmons is in it too. There's a lot of great people in this movie.
I want to know what it's like to be on set with him at this point. Show him the dailies. He's like,
well, have you seen him?
His
I mean,
pants are like up to
he
here.
looks like, yeah,
Frail.
I mean, yeah. And then they said, I was reading something. They said that there'll be days when like they'll get a call at the set. They're like, nope, not coming in.
wow.
He's just,
Yeah.
and I mean,
Well,
no shade. It's just like the guy,
That's what it is.
I mean, and he's just like, I want to keep doing work, but I got to do work that's good, and
and I
good
got to
for
do
him.
it at my
respect it,
pace.
man. I mean,
I have
that's-
to. I have to do it at my pace.
Yeah,
At 93 years old, there's going to be days you wake up or like, I'm not doing this today.
Yeah.
And he runs a notoriously tight set where they don't do a lot of takes. They're on budget, under schedule. I mean, he's a great filmmaker, honestly. So.
Yeah, it's so you think it's a lost art then? When he passes away, are there any others that are similar to him in his style?
I mean, he has a certain eye for material, and I think he picks things that are interesting and they're really strong character pieces. But honestly, not every movie he's made is great. I mean, Bronco Billy's not a good movie.
Yeah,
I mean, so there's definitely Eastwood things that are better or worse. But Unforgiven.
Yeah.
I
All-time
mean,
classic.
come on. I mean, sometimes he just reinvents the genre, and then of course the whole idea of where he came from with Dirty Harry and everything else. I mean, the guy's had a fascinating career. So.
Unforgiven is a good rewatch.
So good.
To go over the Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Considering it was shot here in Tombstone too, right?
Part of it, yeah.
Yeah, part of it. And
They had to really convince Gene Hackman to be a part of that, didn't they? It was hard to get him in that movie.
Yeah, well, because he plays such a bastard. I mean, he's just, and I mean, there's a guy that retired, and I think I've seen one picture in the last 5 years of him. He just rode off into the sunset.
I love it.
I think he's 91, so he's even younger than Eastwood. But yeah, he was so great. And what was it, Bill in that movie? Oh, so great. Anyway.
Yeah, nice.
I really like Escape from Alcatraz. That's a good Eastwood flick.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to Alcatraz as a
I
tourist?
want to go so
It's
bad.
so cool.
Yeah.
I want to do the
gotta
Sean
go.
Connery fire roll.
No,
underneath the
yeah,
furnace.
that's a different one. They won't let you do that when you're a tourist, but they will show you the actual makeshift heads that was made.
The papier-mâché heads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
paper
Oh,
mache
really? They
heads.
still have them?
They still have them. Still have
Nice.
them in the bunks. You see the actual prison. It's a trip. I've been learning a lot about prison the past couple of days because my buddy Danny just got out of prison from for 10 years.
Oh, my God.
I was on the phone with him for an hour and a half yesterday, and the stories he was telling me was wild.
Really?
Wild, yes.
After the show?
Yeah, way after the show. It was last night. I just, because I called him up because he posted this profile pic, and this is funny.
He tried to update it?
Well, he did, but so he posted a profile pic, and it looks like it's a prison picture, right? He looks terrifying, as someone who just spent 10 years hard time would. And so I pull up my phone. I'm a little stoned. I look up his name, and I give him a call, and he answers, and I go, "What are you trying to do? Scare the pussy into submission?" And he goes, "What?" And I was like, "What are you trying to do? Scare the pussy into submission on Facebook?" And he goes, I don't have a Facebook. And I'm like, "Wait, who is this?" He's like, "Joe?" I'm like, "Oh, Joe, this is the wrong number, obviously." So
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, so
Who's pussy?
because this is a guy. Danny has been my friend since I was like 14 years old, right?
That's
so like
funny.
a 30-year friendship I got with this guy. So I don't even say hi or nothing. I just immediately,
What are you doing?
I immediately go into roasting the dude, and this guy's on the other end like, "I'm scaring the pussy into submission."
I guess that's good, right?
Okay. So then I had to to call him in and tell him that, but basically, so I'm trying to help him out. But like, look, if you're going to be doing the social media and stuff, you're not doing yourself any favors right now. Let's soften the lens a little bit. Wow. Yeah, I'll tell you some more little stories that I can share with you after this. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to B Figure Presents. Still in studio with film critic Herb Stratford. Now this weekend, there's some things dropping to your streaming services, so you don't even have to get up off the couch.
That's true.
One that looks promising because of the cast is Sweethearts on Max. Tell me about this, Herb.
So you may remember Kiernan Shipka. She played Don Draper's daughter in Mad Men. Well, she's all grown up now, and she's been in things like Sabrina the Teenage Witch and other things, but she's doing some really interesting films. This movie is a comedy. It's about two best friends who go off to college, and they have not broken up with their high school boyfriend and girlfriend, right? And they realize, this is sort of tying us down, so we might want to go home at Thanksgiving and break up with our significant others. You can see the writing on the wall. These two are going to get together. But anyway, it's just a comedy. It's a little raunchy. You couldn't actually play some of this clip on the radio right now because it's raunchy. But it's a very funny sort of story about, sort of the transition that we all go through when we sort of go away and start to become fully formed humans. So it's a comedy. It's funny. It's a little raunchy. It's definitely not Moana. Let's put it that way.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Right?
So a little adults, but it also kind of make you feel like you're young and hip again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of see what the younger generation is into.
No, totally.
I do like every now and then, honestly, especially as I get older, seeing movies where I'm like, okay, this is geared towards like the demo of 18 to 25. I have to watch it and force myself to watch it just so I can, keep my finger on the pulse and be like,
right.
Yeah, look at us, fellow hip kids, huh?
Hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, I literally watched a movie over the weekend. It was on Hulu. And I'm forgetting the name. It's like June something, where it's talking about this girl who's like TikTok obsessed, right? And that generation, and it has like a superstar cast in my mind, like Bobby Lee and just a bunch of like cool, like Bill Burr's in it, a bunch of great comedians in it. And it's an indie film. It has that indie vibe, but you could tell even just with the lingo and everything, it's talking about this generation for this generation. And I enjoyed it, and that made me feel like I'm still cool,
Yeah, just
like,
for a moment.
I resonate.
So every now and then, you kind of have to force yourself. If you're like, this is something for kids, that if you catch yourself saying that, then you definitely have to watch it to kind of be on the same page. And
Did you watch any Euphoria for that reason?
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering if that would be like a good way to.
I got jealous of Euphoria because, first off, like when I was in high school, I was one of the partiers, hard partiers, and self-proclaimed cool kid. But I would throw parties, I'd be at parties all the time, right? And so that whole generation, when raves became about, and doing all that, I did all that. And we thought we were pretty hardcore. Then Euphoria came out, and we're like, oh my God, we were just wimps, dude. What is this?
I thought we were cool.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that's coming to our streaming service. We're going to talk about these other two that are dropping, including a Beatles documentary that you want to check out on Disney Plus on the podcast broadcast. You can join us, youtube.com/BFegan. We'll be right back right after these words on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Here's a fun fact on that. When you listen back to the last little 10-minute segment that we did, how many times do you think I said,
We're going to make a compilation.
Do you have a counter? You have an counter going?
Yeah, it's -3.
We're going to have beef ASMR for like 10 hours straight.
No, you won't get it from this show. No, you won't get it from this show. I'm trained. Now, there's been plenty of Beatles documentaries, even on Disney Plus. There was one that was released
the
not
Peter
too long
Jackson,
ago.
the Peter Jackson miniseries. It was like 4 episodes, it was like 6 hours or whatever about the recording of Let It Be.
Yes, okay.
Brilliant documentary.
Wasn't there a Ron Howard one too, or who else am I thinking?
No, you're thinking about. Then there was the Paul McCartney thing with what's his name, Rick Rubin. That was a big thing, right?
Yeah.
So this is the newest thing. It's called Beatles 64, and it basically is produced by Martin Scorsese. And this is the moment that we're seeing this from a different perspective because this is footage we haven't seen before. This is when the Beatles came to New York the first time they ever came to America. And, they ended up doing Ed Sullivan, and they did some shows, and it was like, that sort of youthful exuberance, that happened when the Beatles came. And because it's footage we haven't seen, it's really sort of exciting to see that moment. And, let's be honest, we're down to 2 Beatles. So
yeah, I know. And the fact that
know.
we still even have two Beatles, when you
Yeah.
see this in 64, you're just like, man, that's impressive.
Right.
And real quick, look at this woman right here. She still has the same hairstyle that she did.
Isn't that Ronnie Spector? I think it might be Ronnie Spector.
Is
I
it
don't
Ronnie
know.
Spector?
It looks like her.
Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's see. Was it Ronnie as a young woman? It looks like, yeah, and then cut to her today.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, she's committed. She's committed to the hive.
That's how I'm going to be when I'm 80. If I make it to 80 and stuff, I'm still
You'll
going to
have
be
the hat on backwards.
dressing like a kid from the 90s.
It's like a B-52 album cover.
Yeah. Very nice.
So is this on Disney Plus already?
It's I think tomorrow or no, 29th. So
Okay.
what's today? Today's 27th, Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like this because there's a bunch of unseen footage. It looks like it's pretty clean, even though it's still black and white. What else about this makes this different?
You know,
from the rest?
it's just the fact that you're getting. I love that we're getting these stories before these guys are gone. You know, like just look at Ringo. It's like, how's that guy still alive? He was older than all the rest of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm a Beatles guy, so to me, I just gobble this stuff up, and
That's fitting for Thanksgiving, huh?
Nice.
yeah.
Wordsmith.
So yeah, so I think this, if you're a Beatles fan, definitely worth a look, and mainly because it's stuff we haven't seen before. It's sort of like it's this mind that never gives up, right? It's like there's always more stuff
Yeah.
for the Beatles, like just keeps coming out of closets, right?
More theories, more stories about the
well,
past.
more books. I mean, there was a great movie a couple years ago called something about Frida, and it was their woman that was their not their box office, their fan club person, and she basically would respond to all the letters that people sent her and would manage all this stuff. It's called Good Old Frida. It's a really great doc, but it's like a piece of Beatles history that you had no idea even existed. You know, that they had this fan club, and they hired this 16-year-old girl at the time to manage it for them. Because they're just like, whatever, fan club, we don't care.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like Swifty's like, all right, pay us $150 a month,
Right.
and you're a fan club.
Yeah, $150,000 a year. I mean, that's a lucrative gig. Real quick, here's a nice little surprise for us. We haven't seen our good friend Todd Marley on the stream in quite some time. And so long a time, his backdrop is a completely different setting and everything.
I'm a family man.
Yeah, good morning, Todd. Good to see you.
He's trying to make it seem like, you know, like the prison thing. He's trying to, like, you know, intimidate us with his background. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, that was the other background. That was the intimidating one. This is minor and gentle.
Before?
Yeah.
No, we got new windows, so I took the opportunity to rearrange my office.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I did challenge you at the beginning of the podcast because lately, you know, obviously we're getting tons of constructive criticism, if you want to call it constructive, a lot of shitting on. And I'm like, well, there's got to be some positive, you know, things that we have been doing on the show. Me personally, that might be worth noting. Is there any kind of positive feedback that you have for me pre-Thanksgiving? We'll wait.
Girl from Ipanema,
you make video content.
That's it.
Yeah, that's high.
It's more of a statement than a compliment.
Yeah, it's more of a job description
That's like
than
me
anything.
being like,
It's an observation.
You fulfill the job description.
The bare minimum. You're at that line.
Has it been that bad lately?
You dress yourself daily.
You
DJ Colin
are on time almost every day.
Yeah. Again, yeah, these are just all job descriptions, but yeah, no positive feedback or affirmations or anything. We discovered earlier this morning that I have a praise kink, so you know,
yeah,
you know that's.
Mm-hmm. What, you want me to engage in your kink now? I'm calling HR.
It's on the internet.
Well, you know, I take note of all the negative feedback that I receive from you. I would just like to take note of any positive steps forward that we've been maybe portraying, even if it's nothing positive for me. Got any positive feedback for Valdez? Or Rico
I think
or
Valdez
even Herb?
comes up with fantastic questions, and you shutting him down is a crime against humanity.
I didn't shut him down. I didn't shut him. We're back on the air. Rock 102.1 KFMA.
You do shut him down. You absolutely shut him down.
Absolutely
and then
not.
after you get done shutting him down, you let the thing play out, and then you slap him again for asking the question in the first place.
That's not true. In
That
fact,
is absolutely
actually,
true.
I
We
was
have it on
watching.
tape.
No, I know. I was watching yesterday because I was putting together clips of the video content that you mentioned, and I did not actually. I allowed him to go through those questions. They were very good questions. We engaged with them, and I put together video clips based off the questions he was asking. So those were all complimentary, and I tagged him in it. I did all this stuff. This is stuff he could do too.
And then
I'm not
what did we
stopping
do
anyone.
today?
What I do today? Well, today he wouldn't admit he's a juggalo, and that, and I had to punish him for that. You know what I mean? So give me a boom boom, Valdez.
Are you a juggalo?
Toot toot.
See, he's toot toot. That's the worst thing you could have said.
That's cultural appropriation.
Yeah, dude. You're gonna get sued by a guy who's desperate for money. So, what? Like any other positive? Is there any positive that you've been watching and pointing out the faults here for a solid month? I haven't seen you or got to talk to you. So now that I have you here, Todd Marley, for a minute, and right before Thanksgiving, I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for the feedback. And I'd be thankful for any kind of, positivity that you could point out, saying, "Hey,
when you are talking about something that you understand and you actually enjoy, you have an infectious passion to it. So when you talk about wrestling, it becomes engaging to people that aren't necessarily interested in it because you have an extreme passion for it. However, you go on for too damn long."
On the podcast or on air? Because our on-air segments are under 5 minutes.
Niche wrestling subjects.
All right.
This is hard. This is hard talk from Todd. Man.
I know. I feel like he hates the show.
No, he's a loving father.
Here's the thing. I'm not paid, so the only enjoyment I get is suffering.
Yeah. So is this something we put you through an hour of torture every day? You come in, you're like, God damn this guy.
Oh no, you don't put me through it. I subject myself. I could go anywhere else.
He's a masochist.
Yeah. That's fair.
Are you wearing clamps on your nipples right now? What's going on?
No, clipple free. I have a pun on my shirt.
Well, look, we're gonna do just a couple minutes of overtime on the podcast broadcast. You can join us youtube.com/beefvegan. Herb Stratford, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
All right. For the rest of you, happy Thanksgiving. We'll be back Monday morning. Enjoy your holidays. Drive safe, ride safe, and rock local.
Gobble,
Later.
gobble.
Hold on, we're not done with this. We gotta figure this out. All right, let's go around the room, Mr. Consultant. Positive feedback for Rico. Let me get some positive feedback for Rico.
5-star Rico reviews is an ace segment. Absolutely radio gold. You should keep doing it. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Our consultant agrees on that as well. And in fact, actually, we talked about it, and it took him literally, I think 14 months to figure out that he was doing it.
What's this thing you're doing? It's new?
Yeah. He's like, that's good. You should do that again. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, once a week for fucking ever?
The kid's at 100 reviews in town.
Yeah. How many reviews do you have again?
Almost 90, I think. Or
yeah,
80,
he's at
90.
He's got enough that we're contemplating a book, putting them all together in a book.
Nice.
And
that would be amazing.
You get sued by Google. Can't wait.
Well, I think it would be good. Okay, positive affirmation for Herb Stratford.
Herb, I apologize to you for how much credibility you have to go rebuild every week after you do the show. It must be goddamn exhausting to come in here to get kicked in the balls to talk about reality TV, which is so far below what your writing ability is.
That's what he loves.
Stop it. You want my opinion. You shut your pie hole and you let me.
That's what he loves, dude. He loves it. We love it together.
I am apologizing to her for you, so you shut your pie hole. And I am sorry, sir, about your credibility. You do a phenomenal job rebuilding it every week.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that, and I do have different sides of me that I will cop to the fact that I do enjoy some trashy TV, but I'm not. It's not only trashy TV. So.
He's a fan of documentaries, and technically, the challenge is a documentary.
You just gotta slum it sometimes.
Yeah, it's a BMP. I think they do documentary style television shows. That's Real World, the first television show documentary.
That's Ken Burns, the challenge. That's the best.
Hey, if he lives long enough, he'll make one about it. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Absolutely. Okay, so you did Valdez, you did Rico, you did Herb. All right, how about your buddy Beef? Your old buddy Beef. We go way back, 2010. I got pictures of a young Todd Marley with our kids at little toddlers, right at Castles and Coasters. Or no, actually at a little park in Central Phoenix where we're out and being dads together. So this
he
is
has
how
these
far
photos
we go
because I
back.
sent them to him.
Yes, it's very sweet. Very sweet.
I've never seen these before in my life.
Yes.
Who are these people?
So with that, with the history and everything that we have and stuff, just any kind of.
I wish you'd take an improv class.
That's
yes, and.
Yes, and what?
No, that's the point.
I just wish you'd go take an improv class.
What? I'm not good at improving the whole thing. Fucking show.
You are the king of no.
I am not.
People
the king
will
of no.
come up. Every co-host that you have in here, you block when they start doing a joke. You don't do it every time, but you do a lot of the time. Well, they'll say a joke and you'll just go, no, I don't like where that is going. I'm denying your premise, and you just stop the trade right there.
Sometimes it does happen.
You're right. Okay, yeah. Sometimes it's a little too.
But you do
highbrow
it with a
for the
smile,
audience.
so there you go.
That's right.
No, I already told you the infectious thing. I don't. You want more?
That's a
I'm not getting
idea.
under the desk.
All right, so no positive affirmations.
I already gave you the positive affirmations. You're not getting any more.
You're getting paid to talk about dicks.
That's
Congrats.
positive.
Yeah,
I'm
congratulations.
positively paid.
You get to subject all of Southern Arizona to your horniness.
All right, yes, I do that.
It's
Okay.
true.
Well, I hope you have a
Welcome
good
to the
Thanksgiving.
impromptu roast of beef vegan.
Did you learn this from an improv class? Did you take an improv class?
I teach improv classes.
Oh, with the cigarette or the
joint,
the puff.
Yeah. All right, White Snoop Dogg. Thank you for the check-in. It's good to see you, and happy Thanksgiving, dude. We'll talk.
I already have your
Happy
Christmas presents, by the
Thanksgiving.
way.
Yes, everyone. Thank you for.
I have
watching
Christmas
the stream.
presents for all of you, except if you're listening.
Jerky.
It's not even
yeah,
beef jerky. Ooh, it's a surprise.
Oh.